Well, I appreciate you joining, man. Just so everyone knows, to catch everyone up, we couldn't connect with Andy's actual account. It wouldn't let us do the split screen. But he's now, connected with us, and the famous Lily is is in full effect. So, hey, bro, I appreciate you joining us. I think you know already, this is the inaugural one. This is the first AMA on Instagram that we're doing. So we're happy to have you. We appreciate it. Just so everyone knows who Andy is, in case you don't know, top-ranked fighter, goes by El Tiburón. He's 26 years old. He's fighting Erick De Leon, which is a huge matchup that I think, a lot of people may be overlooking. It's on a good card with a solid main event with Scott Quigg and Oscar Valdez. But you guys could definitely steal the show. Andy's 20-0, 12 knockouts. So we're excited to have you on. The format, so everybody knows, it's going to be really informal interview. We set up a partnership with AMAfeed.com, where I was saying before, we got over 115 RSVPs. So a lot of people are interested in you, interested in what you have to say, answering questions. So I'll pull some questions from there. You
Sounds
can pull
good.
questions from the feed right now. Everyone can stop making fun of the name. Yeah, he's the famous Lily. But actually, I'll kick it off right now. If you want to maybe talk about the fight that you have coming up on March 10th, talk about the matchup and, how you've been preparing for that.
Yeah, so just the matchup, I got Erick De Leon. He's currently 17-0, 10 knockouts. He's a southpaw who's originally from Detroit, trains out of Robert Garcia's gym, has a lot of hype behind him. He was a big amateur national pedigree, I think a 3-time Golden Gloves. Like you said, I think people are overlooking this fight, but this fight has Fight of the Year written all over it. He's 17-0, I'm 20-0, and so young in our careers, we're having to face off with each other. But I was the one kind of wanted this fight, and I kind of wanted this fight 2 fights ago. But for whatever reasons, it's finally happening now. We're in the same weight class with the same promoter, so it's pretty much winning this fight goes on to bigger levels. So it's just a matchup that's so important in my career as much as important as his career. Training-wise, I've been getting really good southpaw work. We've been bringing in guys, and I've been sparring the best southpaws out here in Northern California. So we've been preparing tremendously. I just can't wait till fight time. I'm already ready to go. It's just a matter of time.
Right. Now, talking about De Leon, you were saying, you wanted this one 2 fights ago. I saw an interview that you did, and you were like, he can get it whenever he wants, basically. Is there any history between you guys? Like, did you guys fight in the amateurs, or is there any animosity? What's the deal with that?
Nah. You know what? I was actually his good friend. I was actually like a friend. We were actually really close, really cool. I remember, nobody knows this story. This is a great story. Back when he was having training camp at Nonito Donaires camp right here in the Bay, in San Carlos, at the time I was about 2-0. No, at the time I was about looking to go pro. I think I was 1-0, 2-0. And his mom or someone needed like a MyTouch phone. I had an extra one laying around, and I even sent it out to him so he could give it to her. Damn. But it's you know what? It's a guy that I know, and he was a friend before, but it's just that when I have someone sign a piece of paper going to fight me, it's became different now. It's like it's enemies now, Right. And that's just how it is, and that's just how it happens. So I don't know how he feels about it, but I feel everybody that's connected with his team and his people are all my enemies. And that's how I go into every fight, is with that mindset, knowing, whoever's up against me is trying to take everything I've worked for. But yeah, I've known him for a long time. I've known him, but I've never fought him in the amateurs. We did spar once, and he kicked my ass because I didn't know much back in the day. I just didn't know what I know now,
Okay.
Yeah. When we were amateurs, we sparred, and he pretty much outboxed me because I didn't know what I know now. I've closed the gap. Like I tell people, him being 17-0 as a pro and having such a great amateur degree, and me being not such a great amateur, I've actually closed the gap. I feel I've exceeded his expectations, and I didn't have that.
Oh, you're cutting off a little. Yeah. I think you
I've
went
just
through
learned so much. Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, you're back.
I've just learned so much, so much throughout the years that I feel like now I've exceeded his level, and that's what I'm ready to show March 10th, is showing that, I'm on a different level. But I just can't wait, man.
Cool. Now, you said, you see him and his team or whatever as maybe enemies or, more than just an opponent. Do you
Right.
think the fight, you guys can eventually get back to a level of friendship or whatever like that, or is it just that
Yeah,
part
it's not even in my head right now.
Okay.
Yeah. That part's just totally
It makes
deleted.
sense. It makes sense because a lot of people say, "Oh, we're friends, but we have to fight." But it's hard. Yeah, it would seem like it's hard for you to focus on what you have to do to actually beat him, and then be like,
Right.
"Well, we're friends" at the same time because
Right.
it's a rough and tough sport. So just a quick break, just everyone that's watching, so you guys know you can ask questions live. We'll pick questions that Andy's going to answer. And then I'm going to start picking some ones off the AMA feed right now as well. So you guys can go ahead and, get your questions answered from Andy Vences, undefeated top-ranked fighter. Andy, I'm going to throw one at you right now from AMAfeed.com.
Go ahead.
This is from Andrew Peterson. He says, you have a great team. Remy, Victor, Snack, trainer Angel Cordon Sr., behind you and supporting your ambitions. How important is this support of your team, and what overall impact has it had on your success and goals?
I feel this is, just talking about this the other day. A team and everybody being on page and everything,
Oh, you're breaking up again.
Okay.
Let's see if we get the famous Lily back. The connection is still bad.
All
right, cool. Appreciate it.
Hold on a second. I'll answer that question. That's a good question.
He said, friends, not, it's all business. I agree.
Yeah, so can you hear me now? I'm going to go ahead and answer that question.
I can hear you now. You're a little broken up, but I can see you. You got the question, though? The whole question?
Yeah. So everything is, I feel like having a good support team around you is everything. I feel like consistency to be successful is key. So, like, I feel working with Snack, working with my coach, Angel, and working with everybody, I feel like we got rhythm going in this fight. Like, we all know each other. We all know what we're supposed to do. We all know each other's jobs. And it's just, I'm not bouncing around from gym to gym, trainer to trainer, trying to catch up where we left off. Or, it's just, we really got a great program. And then working with Snack and Victor Conti is man, I feel like I know what a lot of other athletes don't know about working out, about strength training, about explosiveness and gaining speed. I've never learned so much in boxing since I met Victor Conti, and I really just started listening to him these last 2 to 3 fights. After I fought Casey Ramos for the title, I knew a change needed to be made because I didn't make weight the right way, and I needed some help. So I reached out to Victor, and ever since then, man, my performances and the way I feel fight night it's unbelievable. It's just, I feel really good going into this fight, and I feel really knowledgeable as what I'm doing and the purposes of why I'm doing it for. But yeah, a team is everything. I feel like a team, you guys all got to be on the same page. I don't need to worry about my coach's job, and he doesn't need to worry about mine. I just need to focus on working hard and just listening, and that's it.
Excellent. If you see any questions you want to answer on the feed, feel free. I'll throw a couple more at you. Switching subjects a little bit. Did you watch any of the fights this past weekend, the top-ranked ones?
Oh, yeah, of course. I watched those, yeah.
Any guys you were impressed with?
I like, you know who I liked really good? He had a guy, he had experience in front of him, but I liked Teofimo.
Yeah, he's
He, he,
on a lot of people's top contender list.
yeah, no, he's good. He's good. I like his style. I like the way he, picks his shots, the way he shoots. I'm gonna answer one of these questions on the feed. It says, "What's your future plans going up in weight later?" To be honest, uh, I don't even have an answer for that because I feel like everything in life you gotta take step by step before jumping to anything. But my overall goal as a kid was to be a champion at 130, 135, and 140. Right now I'm just focused on 130 and focused on this fight. So but I do plan to move to 135 eventually. Not sure how long my body could be at 130 for, but we'll see. But yeah, that'll be later in the future.
130. You
Yeah.
and 130. Okay.
Yeah, we're at 130. Yeah.
Okay. We got another question from the feed that says you've boxed alongside some good boxers so far. Who would be your toughest opposition, do you think?
As far as in my weight class, or
No, like guys that you've actually fought. Like, I guess what's been your toughest fight is what they mean.
in my pro career, right?
Yeah, in your pro career.
Oh, okay, that's a good question. I'd have to say my toughest fight, which wasn't televised, was against a guy named Cesar Valenzuela. It was at the time I was 10-0.
Okay.
I ended up getting rocked that fight in the 4th round, and then I ended up knocking him out. But I was losing the whole fight, and then I knocked him out in the 5th round. But that was a really tough fight, really tough experience. But I'd have to say also the Casey Ramos fight. It wasn't tough fight-wise, but it was just tough. The circumstances and the things I went through, I made weight the wrong way. I was super drained, but yet I found a way to like overcome stuff. But I feel like I learned a lot leading up to that fight, which is so whoever's asking that question which is why how I'm approaching this fight is different. Back then when I fought Casey Ramos, I was so stoked, 23-0 guy, undefeated. I'm fighting for the belt. So what did I do? I trained every day. I trained too much. I dieted too much, and I did things to the extreme, knowing it was an undefeated guy. I was for the title. And this time I'm not making that mistake. I'm just following the program and not overdoing things because it's simple. You don't have to overdo it. And that was my mistake back then. But that was a really good, hard fight for me.
Right, yeah. That Ramos fight was good. I do remember that as well.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple other questions. Someone asked if you're going to be on COD later.
Oh, yeah. I'm on that sometimes, bro, when I'm bored.
What's up? What do you play, Xbox or PlayStation?
I play PS4.
PS4, all right.
I'm actually on there with Box Talk 101.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Sometimes he goes on too, yeah.
What do you play? So you play Call of Duty? What else?
Nah, that's all I play, dude. When I jump on, I just play that a little bit. I really don't even have time, but, if I get an hour or two, I'll jump on.
Right, yeah, I feel the same way. They need to bring a new boxing game out.
I know. Oh, you know what, though? That's the only thing I don't play on console is boxing.
Yeah, they don't. Well, they haven't had a new game since what's been like maybe over 5 years now.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if they brought another one up. Let's see. What do you want to be remembered for at the end of your career? That question comes from Joy Blue.
I want to be remembered as a fighter who came from not many opportunities, but who created those opportunities by working hard and just following their dream, At the beginning of my pro career, I didn't know where this was going. I was doing it because I wanted to be a pro fighter and I loved boxing. I wanted to be a world champion. But every day, working a full-time job, working a graveyard shift, it was just, I didn't know where it was going to lead. I didn't know when it was going to happen. But along the way, my goal was to get signed to a promoter. And then I think, I want to be remembered as somebody who just never gave up and kept to it, and just came up from nothing to something. I wasn't an Olympian. I didn't go to the Olympic trials, but yet he kind of paved his way and made his way to where he was at or what he did,
Definitely. Well, you got a lot of platforms now, ESPN with Top Rank and everything. So I think, you're with a good promoter, putting you in the right position of course,
Right.
like I said, this is the big fight, the step up. So, you know, after this one, we'll see. Looks like there's some questions if you want to go ahead and grab one of those.
Yeah, one of those says, who do you want to call out after the De Leon fight? That's actually a good question because I was thinking there was a guy who fought in my weight class on ESPN on the Lomachenko undercard. I don't know if you guys saw. He was fighting at 130, but he fights at 126. His name was El Pitufo Diaz.
Yep.
That's a guy I'd want to fight because if he was fighting at 130, if he's flowing around there, I'd definitely hop on him. That was actually a fight I wanted too before this one. But yeah, I wouldn't mind even fighting him. I feel that's a good fight to kind of right after this one. I really don't know how this fight's gonna end. You know, these fights take a toll on our bodies as far as how hard the fight is and whatnot. But I'm just hoping and wishing for the best and training for the best, training hard.
I feel like there was a little bit of a discussion about that Diaz fight on Instagram one time. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It was on. I think I tweeted it.
Yeah, there was some back and forth going on there. That just reminded me. That would be a good fight too. Yeah, you're right.
How fast could a novice get to the Olympics? Oh, that just depends how bad they want it. You know, nowadays a lot of kids they're too much wrapped up in the social media, so it really has to come from the kid as far as what he wants to accomplish. But it doesn't matter. I don't think there's no fights. I mean, as long as he's willing to train hard. So I got a guy here saying Pitufo sounds like a good fight. If you don't win your fight against Erick De Leon, what's next? But those are the things I don't put in my head or that I don't think about because when you start asking yourself questions, and this is to the guy who's responding, when you start asking your question and putting things in your mind like what if, you start creating a sense of failure, and you don't want to think that way. So that's another thing too, though, that I do. I surround myself by everybody, a lot of people who believe in me, and that's one thing about my team. Everybody knows that I am gonna win. It's just a matter of how I'm gonna do it. So, but yeah, I just try not to even put those things in my mind.
Right.
Destiny. What I like to say is destiny's already set. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. All you can do in your power is work hard and just let everything else be. And that's everything in life. That I kind of take it that way.
Yeah, I hear you. I got another one from AMAfeed.com. Once again, shout out to the AMA feed. We got over 115 RSVPs. They're interested in what Andy Vences has to say. Someone asking, Mona Lisa says, can you outline your training week and share what it takes to be a pro fighter? So I guess like maybe elaborating, you know, you talk about
a full week
and Conti and that, like, you know, what do they have you doing?
Okay, yeah, a full week. So I'll start from Monday. So Monday I drive. So check this. I'm include the driving too because a lot of people don't know that about me.
Right.
I start off Monday. Monday is a track training day, so I drive an hour and a half in traffic to go to the track at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to 12, we're putting in work on the track with Coach Remy and the guy they provide a snack. His name's Coach Remy. Okay. After that, I drive half an hour back home. I eat, take a shower, pack my bag, and I leave at 3 p.m. to come here to Martinez. It takes 2 hours in traffic.
Damn.
And then I train 2 hours in my gym, and then I drive an hour back. So that's a 5-hour driving day, 2 sessions Monday. Tuesday, I have my sparring. So I'll spar whatever many rounds my coach needs me to do, and I'll finish up working out. But there's no running on Tuesday. I just do a boxing workout, sparring, and that's it. Wednesday, I do the same thing I did Monday. Track workout, boxing. Thursday, same thing. That's my sparring day. I'll spar. Friday, I'll just do Coach Remy in the morning, and I'll pretty much take the rest of the day off. Saturday, sparring, and Sunday, sometimes I'll take it for rest. But it's a pretty hectic routine, and it's just a lot of activity going on, a lot of back and forth. And in between, if I get an hour or two, I'll sleep. So, yeah, very heavy routine. I did about 28 rounds of sparring last week. I think I did 8 rounds Tuesday, 10 rounds Thursday, and 8 rounds Saturday. That was a hectic week. So it did catch up to my body. I do try to do the ice baths now. at the snack facility after my sparring Saturday. I try to dip in the ice just for recovery. And on my
You
rest
ever
days,
do
I set up
the?
my massages.
Do you do the
The
cryo?
cryotherapy?
Yeah.
I tried it before, but then from talking to Victor Conti, I don't know if you know, it's a lot of money, right? So I was
Yeah.
asking him like, uh, yeah, it's a lot of money, and he said that cryotherapy it only goes an inch into your skin, so it doesn't even touch your bones. So technically, it's a waste of your money, and he said it's better to just do an ice bath. Um,
Right.
you save your money and you actually get the full benefits of the ice bath. So I just stopped going to Cairo when I was trying it. I just stopped going.
I feel like it's the new fad. Like everyone's jumping on it. They see Floyd Mayweather use it or whatever. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Just a little program reminder for everybody. Next Monday we have another top ranked guy, Jamel Herring. That's February 12th at 7. So definitely check us out next week. But right now we got Andy Vences with us for about another 15 to 20 minutes. Go ahead and drop some questions.
I know, by the way, I know Jamal Herring. We actually fought together in amateurs. I didn't fight against him, but we fought in the same division, but we never fought each other. He's a good guy, a good fighter.
Cool. Yeah, I've known him for a
Yeah.
while. He's a really good guy. Just joined Top Rank. So I believe
He
he
joined
told me,
Top Rank?
yeah, he joined Top Rank.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So
I didn't
this
know that.
week, yeah,
Wow.
this week I think he just headed down to
Reno?
with Terrence Crawford, like in Bomac and them. So I guess he's
Oh,
getting
okay.
it and stuff like that. So yeah, he's supposed to join us next Monday. So I have a lot of questions too. I don't know the whole ins and outs of his deal, so I'm interested to hear too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, when are you fighting at the Shark Tank? Uh, Whenever I get a world championship belt, I think I'll be able to bring it back to the city, just like all the other fighters do. So I'm just waiting for that belt.
Jumping off
So,
of that, how important is it you represent where you're from, the fight, layout of your area? How important is that to you?
it's big, especially because we don't have a lot of the closest boxer we had that did it kind of big. I think was Robert Guerrero out of Gilroy.
Hmm.
So just being from San Jose, there hasn't been a world champion. I can't even remember. I don't even know if there has been a world champion. And if there has, it's been like in 1980, just too far back. Um, and I feel, everything's big in the Bay Area as far as basketball, NFL, but they don't really have a boxer out of San Jose besides Andre Ward, who's out of Oakland. But even Andre, I feel, never got too much credit for his boxing,
Right.
which kind of sucks. But it'd be cool being a Mexican American out of San Jose. I think I could bring a lot of people together and a lot of fans. I feel like I could bring a lot of fans in San Jose back alive to boxing, because I feel boxing's big there. It's just the fans are silent because there's no boxing in San Jose before. There used to be a lot of boxing in San Jose at the convention center, at the Shark Stadium. Golden Boy used to host the fights there, and it just kind of died out.
I hear you. Yeah. Trying to look through some more of these questions and see what we can get you here. Let's see. Short term, long terms, you did answer that. I did see one about your punch. Oh, okay. Let's see. I guess what does it feel like? Describe the feeling when you step into a boxing ring. I guess for when you're in a live event and people watching you, and I guess even more
Yeah.
so, maybe the first time you ever did it.
Well, this happens every time. The feeling that you feel up there when you get up there is that, uh, obviously a lot of adrenaline, but I feel like once the referee separates you guys, gives you instructions, you guys go to each corner, and everybody goes out of the ring, but you guys, you realize, oh shit, it's
Go
happening.
down.
Like, this is it. It's about to go down. And you kind of just remind yourself everything you trained for, everything you did, and let's go. But everything's happening so fast in the ring. Every time I look back at my fights, like, you're not even thinking about it. You're just reacting off what you practiced and what you did. and everything's just happening so fast. Like every movement, you can hear every breath. Every time you hit, you know when you hurt him. It's crazy. It's an amazing feeling. I like to say it's exactly like a street fight. Just you're fighting fighters with gloves and that actually know technical skills. But it's awesome. I love it. I love it because I used to actually do a lot of street fights in high school and then before high school. So I feel it's the same thing. Just now we have technical abilities and you're fighting boxers who know how to fight. But I love it. I feel it's more realistic. I like to say it's real fighting. I don't consider sparring anything close to being real. In the pro fights, when that glove even skins your eye, you feel the burn. It's just every single punch you receive or you miss, it skims your face or body. You feel damage. So it's really realistic. You know, it's badass. I like it.
I think I saw, I don't know if you posted it or someone, but it was like maybe like a street fight from when you were in high school or something like that. I mean, I was gonna ask you, did you used to get in a lot of mixes, a lot of fights outside of the ring?
Yeah, I used to have a lot of. I used to carry 2 pairs of gloves in my locker room, and I used to challenge anybody, any weight, any size. So then I started getting guys down from like colleges coming down and wanting to fight me. So every Friday we used to go to the park. All the school used to go there, make a big old circle, and then we used to kind of just. The game was the way we boxed was whoever gave up, that was it. So there was no minutes, no rounds. It would just go till whoever gave up. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty tight. It was fun.
Ooh, yeah. Not many people play like that, but that's what's up. Yeah. I don't know if you see any questions you want to answer. Go ahead.
Yeah. Besides sparring, have you fought a southpaw before, or is De Leon your first? In the amateurs, I've fought many southpaws, and in the pros, I fought 2 southpaws. So De Leon's not my first, but De Leon's a second undefeated fighter that I will be facing in my career, which I'm also excited about because every time, even when I fought Casey Ramos, knowing he was undefeated, I like it because it's a challenge. That means, I'll be the first to do it because nobody's done it. So that's just an opportunity for me to be the first, and at least I'll be able to take the credit to say I was the first to do it.
Right.
You like to get punched in the face is a good feeling. No, but I like fighting. The way the punches are coming at you and the way it feels is just different. It's a different feeling. It's very hard to explain unless you've had like at least an amateur fight or actual real fight. It's just a way to challenge your body, and then even during the training and when you go to the fights, it's an awesome feeling, Nah, I don't box my family members. I actually don't. I don't even hang around. I don't even hang around much family a lot of the time, because there's no time. On the weekends I'm resting, and during training camp things are tough. What helps a lot is I do have my fiance who helps me. She actually cook my meals when I come home from training. I get, foods there waiting for me. So it's a teamwork all around. I feel, it's a teamwork all around. And I feel good coming home knowing there's people who support me. And that's one thing, too. Everything in life is, you got to be around people who actually support and are actually with it. Because if not, there's just negativity. And you don't want to be around that sense of negativity. Who are you planning on fighting? The big names? Oh, man. I'm just so focused on Erick De Leon. I feel like that's a solid name and the biggest name that I'm fighting in my resume, in my career. So I'm just all eyes and all mental on him.
Yeah, man. I feel like people don't understand like the progression of how.
Oh yeah.
It's built. Like this is it. This is where you should be fighting. Like, you know what I mean? Like if people aren't locked into this fight, they're missing out because you don't jump from starting off and then just go all the way to the top and get an opportunity to fight for a title. You got to do progression. I think you've progressed really well technique wise. And then opponent wise, you're fighting tougher competition. So by all means,
yeah, thank you.
Check that out.
Thank you. De Leon would be my toughest opponent. Yeah. A lot of people say, would he be your toughest opponent? I don't know. We're gonna have to see because that's an interesting question because I know a lot of people are saying he's my toughest opponent, but I don't know. We'll see because in I'm preparing for I'm preparing for an all-out war, the toughest opponent, but you just never know. I do see a lot of vulnerabilities in Erick that I've been practicing on capitalizing. I've been really successful doing them in sparring. So we'll just have to see. I mean, with that 8-ounce glove, like I told you, and I always tell everybody this. I don't care if I'm 20-0, 25-0. One punch can change everything, and that goes from me and the other guy. I mean, in this sport, you just never know, so you always prepare for the worst. So, but I don't know. We'll have to find out if he's my toughest opponent. But I feel I've had tough opposition early because I didn't have much technique. So every fight I was taking it like it was my last fight, and even till right now I still do. But it was very hard at the beginning of my pro career. Any boxers I look up to in the sport? Yeah, I look up to a lot of boxers. That's hard to pick one. I did look up to De La Hoya when I was a kid. I love Eric Morales. I love Marco Antonio Barrera. As far as the new boxers in our generation, I don't know. I'm real into the old guys as far as like Eric Morales. I loved Eric Morales. I loved Salvador Sanchez, the way he would bounce back and forth when he fought. When are you and Eric fighting? We're fighting March 10th at the StubHub Center on the undercard of Oscar Valdez. And yeah, I would say yeah. Oh, you know who my hero is? My boxing hero, the guy I look up to, is Edwin Valero. He was bad.
Yeah, he was a badass.
He was badass, and like he had that street fighting mentality. Like you could tell he's fought in the street so many times because he knew how to fight and he knew how to like keep pushing. I loved how he fought, and I loved his instinct to kill, and that's what I really loved about him. He was a beast. He was a beast, and so sad he had to go so early. But that was one of the baddest fighters I feel who could have fought. He was bad.
Yeah, the good thing is people, if you haven't heard of Edwin Valero, you can go on YouTube. He had a string of first-round knockouts. A lot of them were in Japan. You can catch all those fights. The DeMarco fight was on Showtime, so you can see a little bit about what Andy was talking about, his approach, his mentality. But yeah, he was a beast, man. One of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll see if anyone else asks any other questions. I'm going to shoot some quick questions for you. Just throw whatever comes at the top of your mind. We'll go from there. Who right now do you think is #1 pound for pound in boxing?
#1 pound for pound in boxing? Me, I think it's a good question. And I just what the boxers that I know and the boxers that I follow, I would say Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I like Terrence. Terrence is a good fighter.
Can't argue with that one. What's your favorite song to train to right now? Something that maybe gets you pumped up.
I get myself pumped up, but I don't know. Be honest, I'm a funny guy. I like. Oh man, that's a hard question. There's not a specific song. As long as there's music playing, I don't care what it is. I get in the rhythm, I get in the beat. But if there's no music playing, you gotta play something. But anything gets me going. Anything gets me going.
Couple more questions. Let's see. Do the ring girls ever distract you when you're in a fight?
No, my girl thinks they do, but they don't.
I rarely hear anyone say that they do, but I know there's got to be one person at least out there to say, "Oh yeah, they're taking my focus."
I think they do when you're a viewer not fighting, but when you're fighting, I feel like your mind is on so many other things. It's there's no way you're gonna.
Right.
Yeah, I see. There's only 19 viewers. I feel if we would have used my original page, I would have had a shitload.
Dude, just
that's
off of the
sad thing.
RSVPs, you would, because there was over 100 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got to look into what's going on with your.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. One more question would be, what's your favorite cheat food? And that could be after a weigh-in or maybe in a time that you're not fighting. What would be a meal that you say is maybe your favorite?
After weigh-ins, I always keep it the same. I always go to Olive Garden. I get the tour of Italy.
All right.
It comes with chicken parmesan, chicken Alfredo pasta, and then lasagna. I always do it, man.
Need to get you that sponsorship.
I know, right? That'd be dope. I think a lot of people go there. Sometimes I run into a lot of other boxers who weighed in who go there too.
Right. All right. So if you want to pick a couple more questions, I got one more from the AMA feed, and then we'll wrap it up. I really appreciate you taking the time. This is our inaugural AMA for everyone watching. We'll post it up after. We'll have the recorded version so everyone can go back and look. We'll also have some answers on amafeed.com from the people that ask questions on there. So you can check out Andy also at his actual page, not the famous Lily.
Yeah, my actual page for people asking, it's at El Tiburon Vences 1. This is not my page. I actually just logged into here just to make this work out for you guys. But I couldn't get it going on my...
Go ahead and type it, and then I'll pin it on the video.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, I had to make something happen. I was actually like, man, I felt bad that I wasn't gonna be able to do the interview.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right,
Peter Nieves from Round by Round Boxing. What is it like sparring Nate Diaz? Oh, it was, man, I'll never spar him again. I don't even know why I sparred him. It wasn't even my idea. You know, I actually don't train with that coach anymore, but my old coach from Stockton had told me to spar him, and I swear the first thing I told him was, nah, that guy's too big, and he was like, yeah, but he's not even that good skillfully, and I said, yeah, but he's too heavy, like, he's way too big, and, you know, I sparred him 5-6 rounds. I got so many punches thrown at me, bro, I just couldn't hold him off. I had no power against him. There was nothing I could do to hold him off. I think my only highlight in the 4th or 5th round was I landed a tremendous body shot on him, and I hurt him, and he almost fell. He was, like, squealing. But other than that, he was all over me. I could not keep him off of me. It was unbelievable. I couldn't do anything. My movement, he just kept throwing. I kept hitting him. He kept throwing and throwing, but he's so heavy.
What was the weight difference?
Heavy. I think he wasn't even in full training camp. He was like 200-something pounds.
Damn.
Yeah, it was too big. It was way too big. It was like me hitting a tree. That was crazy.
For sure. We got to link you guys up, you and Peter. He's done a couple interviews with you, so hopefully we can get something.
Yeah, I saw him in Vegas. Last time, and he interviewed me. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's been good. So hopefully we could do that before the fight. If you want to pick maybe one more question, and then we'll wrap it up.
Let's see. Looking right here. A lot of comments, but let me see. Amir Khan is pound for pound king. I don't know, bro. You got a lot of people that argue that. They distract me. Julio said the ring girls do distract him. He's a photographer. So yeah. I'm sure that's true. Don't let your girl see that, bro.
I know. You about to be a dad again, man.
I know, yeah. He's having his kids soon. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's all the questions, I think. Let me see.
Cool. All right. I'll throw one more from you from the AMA feed. Let me see if I can.
Go ahead.
If I can find a good one. Let me see.
I'm gonna take off driving. Hopefully it doesn't cut off.
Cool. All right. Yeah, we'll do one more question, then we'll wrap it up. So from your grandfather to your father, everyone has been involved in boxing or some sort of martial arts.
Right.
Would you mind if your son or your daughter would be involved in some kind of martial arts or sport like this?
I feel like martial arts and everything would be fine, but I wouldn't feel okay if my child or son or daughter wanted to be involved in boxing. I just feel I've been involved in boxing, and it was a struggle. It came really down to how bad I wanted it, and I feel I want it more than anybody. But I don't know if my kid's gonna have that same desire, and if he doesn't have that same desire, I don't want him doing this at all, because this has to come deep down from within that guy or that kid or my son. And if he doesn't want it at all, then why is he doing it? He's going to be wasting his time, my time, and I just feel this is something you do that you really want to do. You don't do it for the fame, and you don't do it for the fame and the show. You know, you do it because you want to do it, because this is your life and this is what you want to be. Don't do it for any other reasons, but because you want to do it. And yeah, you know, I feel I've just been fortunate enough, you know, to have even made it this far on the same route and had, you know, good people around me. But being not an Olympian and, you know, not getting signed right away, it was very hard for me, and it's still very hard, but things are looking good now. I'm finally seeing some light. Ever since I got signed a promoter, I finally started seeing the end of the tunnel, and I'm walking towards it, man.
All right, man. We appreciate your time. Like I said, March 10th, everybody check Andy Vences out against Erick De Leon. We'll post this up, the recorded version, so you can check back with all his answers. Make sure you follow him at Tiburon Vences 1. And, yeah, we'll post a couple of follow-up things with him, and make sure you check out the fight March 10th. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Andy, thanks again.
Thanks, bro.